This is the Bank One Halftime Report.
North Carolina with a 44-33 lead at the half on Miami. Glad to have you with us. Well, North Carolina also known as the team that Antoine Jamison built. That's right, 1997-98 Player of the Year, at least built it for those 2 years. Long and storied history there. We've got to pump him up because he's been decent enough to join us right now as the Mavericks get set to take on the Warriors in a little while. Antoine, Roy Williams back in North Carolina. All Tar Heels seem to be glad. What has Roy Williams brought to this program?
I think he brings the respectability that was there when I was there with Coach Smith. He's probably one of the best coaches to coach the college ranks. With his track record, he's going to produce a great team. He's going to do a tremendous job as far as recruiting. And I think the most important thing, when guys come into that program, they're going to leave as not only better basketball players, but better men. And that's something that, Roy definitely took from Coach Smith's handbook. And I think that's something that he can definitely bring back to North Carolina.
Antoine, I know you enjoy being a pro when you get that big paycheck, but what was more fun, playing in college or playing in the NBA?
Definitely college. It wasn't any contracts involved or one guy jealous because you're making more money than he is. The only thing you played for was that name on your chest. And, North Carolina, I can honestly say I had the best 3 years of my life. I learned a lot as a person and as a player. I played for the best coach to ever coach the game of basketball. And, those 3 years was probably the most enjoyable years of my life, and I learned a lot. And it really made me into the person that I am today. And, the guys I went to college with, we're still friends. We're still close to one another, and that's what college basketball is all about.
Anton, when you look at North Carolina, the incredible legacy, obviously the coaching tree, people that are Eddie Fogler's, the Roy Williams, but you had the rare opportunity to play for both Dean Smith and Bill Guthridge, maybe the greatest tandem ever in the history of college basketball. Contrast those two coaches in terms of their styles, their philosophy, and also what it really meant to you to play for them.
I think, once you think of Coach Guthridge, I think he learned everything from Coach Smith, so it's pretty much the same coach. But, I say this story all the time. I can recall when I was getting recruited by the University of North Carolina, and Coach Smith said, I can't promise you that you'll be an NBA star or, you'll have your name in lights, but I can promise you that when you leave here, you'll be a better person than when you came in. And that's something that both of those guys really, handed down to their players. And still today, I'm able to keep in contact with those guys, and they're reaching out to not only me, but to my family. So, when you speak of those guys, you don't really think of basketball, you think of life in general. And that's something that is more, fun and more something you cherish for the rest of your life. And, those guys really, like I said, they brought me from from a boy to a man. And they taught me about life, not only as far as basketballs, but just as far as being a good father and, a brother and things like that. So, those guys have really had a big influence on my life, and I definitely would be in the situation if it wasn't for those guys.
And Antoine, they did put your name in lights. We look forward to watching you in a little while. Thanks for spending some time with us. Antoine Jamison of the Dallas Mavericks going to take on his old team, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBA Wednesday. Second half from Carolina's coming.